Hey, Mew Mew Samurai, what's going on? Trying to zoom this in a little bit better so you guys can see it. That might be too much. There we go. That look better? Yes, indeed. Toon Squad. Alright, I'm gonna try to focus this in a little bit more. There we go. Because I'm recording it up here too, so. Alright. Too many markers here. Move them over. There we go. See, now it's out of focus. I think that's better. Give me 1 second. I think I'm gonna switch to the tripod. Alright, hang tight everybody. We're just gonna take a little trip. Alright. Thought I lost you guys. Well, Oh, thank you, Aurora. I appreciate that. It's not necessarily TMNT slash Transformers. Let me turn the music down. I'm almost done with this commission, and then I started Megatron last night, so it's gonna be like flip flopping between the two. All right, just hang tight for a second. I just have to take this tripod off. Okay. I thought this top tripod would work, but it shakes too much and I just can't focus on the artwork. So this should be a little bit better. Unplug it. Alright. Samsung has to stop making so many damn buttons on the side. So it makes it impossible to use these things. Alright. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's true. Too many markers in my way. Should have been better phrasing. Oh. I don't want to knock this over when I'm moving the chair. Much better? That's good. I just don't know why it's not focusing. Come on. This is why phones are horrible for YouTubing. This one has a timed battery, so it always dies on me. But all right, so I'm gonna keep coloring Mikey. Hopefully, it'll stay focused. I'm gonna get copyright claims for this stream. I don't care. Just a chill stream. I can't draw without music. It's just not possible. Much less color. Because I like to color with the beat, you know. I'm gonna have the chat open in another window here. Yeah, I can't. I just can't do it. I have to have music. I have to either have like Parks and Rec or documentary on in the background. Or when I like to draw outside, I just like to hear nature. I can deal with that. Yeah, you mean Samurai, you could probably get away with it. I can't. I need sound. See, it's still getting out of focus. I'm gonna try to zoom out a little bit. Let me see if my arm gets in the way. No, it's good. All right, now focus. 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 I feel like Piccolo when I'm doing the two. I'm going like this. Oh, you usually have anime? Yeah, I'm tapping the screen. It's just not focusing. I'm wondering if maybe the camera has a smudge on it. You know what? Let's try this. Hold on. I'm going to flip the camera over. And then just turn this part. Because the back-facing camera is higher definition. So that should be a little bit better. It's flipped around so I can't see it. Let me just do live real quick. I think that's better. Just turn it slightly. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, I just happened to look to my side and saw how blurry it was. It was just so blurry. You can't see the small details. But now I can show you Megatron a little bit better. This Megatron. I can't wait to color it because this is the first time in a long time that I went really heavy with the line work this time. Because I've been coloring so much, I shied away from doing heavy inks. Why can't you stream, Mew Mew? Thank you. Why can't you stream? Oh, you can still stream through OBS. So you can't do streaming from a phone, but you can still stream through OBS. I don't know if you knew that. So if you have a PC, what I would do is just plug your phone into the PC, download OBS, and then your phone can be like the webcam. And then you just do a stream key. If I get a chance, I'll go online or I'll go on YouTube. Yeah, the 1,000 rule is only for mobile. They just didn't want it flooded with a bunch of, you know, kids with one sub, like streaming from their phones. But I stream for the Art Sensei Plays channel, and that only has like, I think like 10 subs. As long as you do it through OBS and the stream key, you should be able to do it. If I get a chance, I'll get the page so it shows you how to set up OBS. I don't know if you've ever used OBS, but it's a little daunting at first. But once you get all your settings set up, it's super easy. We need a camera to stream, and if the phone can be a webcam, we might be all good. Yeah, so even if you don't have a camera, if your PC has a webcam built into it, you can use that too. Let me see if I can pull it up on this computer just so you can see it. Yeah, it's free, so you can't really go wrong. Let me try to zoom into the computer real quick so you can see it. So obviously that's the chat, but this is OBS. Probably gonna slow everything down. Yeah, when I use Chrome, it slows everything down to a crawl. See how slow it's loading? On a PC it loads super fast, but on a Mac it's really slow. Yeah, so here you go. So this would be, oh, you get a view of the background. So you go here to settings, and then stream, and then here is where you would pick. No, it's not complicated. It's just, it might be daunting at first, but from here you go into your YouTube page and you go to live, and under live it should say stream key. That's where you put your stream key, and then you just make sure you put it to YouTube gaming. So right here, YouTube gaming with your stream key, and then you should be good to go, and then you can just hit start streaming. It's fairly simple, and it auto detects anything that's connected to the computer. So it auto detects this webcam, but I also have don't know where it went. I have another webcam that has gone missing right now, but that's my really nice webcam. You see all the cables here, but hopefully that helps. Yeah, no problem. It sucks that you guys haven't streamed because, you know, no one's told you guys about it. It's just one of those things where, you know, I had to learn just from messing around with. Yeah, you get streaming again. Because how are you supposed to get over 1,000 subscribers if you don't stream to people, you know? I don't stream a lot, you know, but when I do, try to stream as much as possible. It's just hard to stream when I have to do like really intense focus type work. Like the sneaker project, I doubt I'm gonna be able to stream because there's gonna be parts where there's fumes in the air, and then I gotta wear my mask. And I know that if I have to really focus really hard, it's going to be hard to keep an eye on the chat and everything. So, why did I pull? 3 emerald greens. Ocean green. Yeah, especially because here, let me pause this real quick. I'm recording up here. Whoa. So when I'm recording up here, I have to keep it lined up. Why is this moving so much? I thought I had this locked to not move. So when I do the sneaker project, I'll just show you the junk pair. I bought this pair at Walmart to just test out the airbrush, and so it's gonna be hard to aim this, then use the airbrush, the fumes everywhere, and then I have to watch out with the really expensive camera. I don't want paint to get on that, and then I got my Sub-Zero mask. I don't know. Which has some carbon filters in it, so I'm not breathing in all that acetone. So I doubt I'm gonna be able to stream. I have to get like a cover for the camera so the fumes don't get on it. Alright, so now, yeah, it's gonna be super close to the camera. I am just grabbing some shell colors. These are going to be the colors for the shell and some of his bandages. Alright. Hey, Miss K's in here? Hey! I forgot to look at the screen over here. I was looking at the phone. How you doing? Thanks for coming. You've got really popular? Well, that's good. Miss K, as soon as these two are done, we can kind of keep talking about our little project. Oh, Eve, that's good. I'm happy for her. She deserves it. She's been grinding away for a while now. Yeah, it was weird because it was like back to back, and then when you reached out, I needed some time to kind of reset the gears because it was just like back to back to back to back. It was just too much. But I didn't want to leave you hanging. Hold on one second, guys. What's up?
Do you know if everyone ate the rest of the cake?
What cake?
The cookie cake that was in the fridge.
Mom, I, and Bella had pieces.
Was there some left that you put back in the fridge?
Yeah.
Where did you put it?
I put it second shelf. It's in the fridge though.
I don't see that. Can you record?
I'm not going downstairs right now. I'm recording.
Second shelf? Where?
Right under all the drinks.
Like the milk and stuff?
Yep.
Alright, I'll go look. I'll get it.
Sorry about that. She comes in to ask me about cake. I shouldn't have had cake this morning, but I did. We had a very Italian breakfast today. Dessert for breakfast. Yeah, Miss K is great. She's an awesome friend. Just like Euchre and Mew Mew Samurai. Alright. I still don't know what color I'm gonna do the black belts. Because you never want to go full black. You want to go kind of gray. So I am going to grab gray. This is one of those chameleon markers that I did in a video. Hopefully this is a good gray to use. It's not bad. Brush is really soft though. Like I showed in the video, I wasn't really jumping up and down over these. But they are alcohol based, so they are blendable. Oh, that's awesome. Were you still looking for some markers? Oh, I was gonna say I got a pair of water markers. They're called Aquas, and I was not very happy with them. And I thought, I could just give these away on the channel for someone who would like them. So if you're interested, let me know and I could send them your way. Where did I go? Okay. So there's two different beige. Whoa. There's two different beige markers. What are water markers? So these are alcohol-based markers. I don't know if there we go. These are alcohol-based markers. That means that they dry really quick. And whoa. I need to move my bed. It keeps knocking the camera over. All right. Okay, I'll show you the Aquas. So these are water markers. So the water markers, they don't really blend too well, and they're kind of similar to your Crayola or Rosa Arts markers, where they're more just for saturation. They give you a nice watercolor effect, but I don't like the brush on them. Yeah, no worries. Just reach out to me either through Twitter or Instagram, and just you can send me an address that you feel safe for me to send it to, and they are yours. Luckily, it didn't cost an arm and a leg, so. And I already reviewed it for the channel, so maybe you might have more of a more fun with them than I did. All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'll send them out as soon as I can. I'm gonna go a little Bruce Lee with this one. I'm gonna grab some yellow for the nunchucks. Well, no worries. Honestly, I'd rather the art supplies go to someone who could use them than just sitting on my shelf, because I'm never gonna use those. I mostly got them because of how inexpensive they were. And I was like, oh, you know, I needed pastels. I don't have enough pastel colors, but I can't mix water and alcohol. They don't blend together really well. So, as long as they go to someone who can use them, I'm glad to send them your way. Alright, so Mikey is almost finished here. And we can move to Raphael. I'm glad you're excited. Alright, I'm gonna move the camera over to this side. I just need to move the air compressor. Don't hit the ceiling, don't hit the ceiling. Don't look suspicious. Don't look. Oh, I'm definitely getting a copyright claim for this song. Oh, you have Tombos too? Yeah, I gave all my Tombos to my daughters. Just because I need markers that are labeled, and Tombos are not labeled. So they were like impossible to use for me. So this is nice. Like, I have cadmium red. I know that this is the primary red in the color wheel, you know? All right. So, because RAF is this really deep red, I have to do a really deep green to contrast it. So we're gonna go with what I used to shade Mikey. And then to darken it, we're going to use forest green. So alright. And you see how much more this green pops to. One thing I did forget to do with Mikey is I like to just put little dots. It just adds a little bit of texture. There we go. Yeah, my dad told me about the Tombos. Yeah. It's just one of those weird things where it was just driving me nuts, because and it'd be one thing if their caps, the colors on the caps looked like the colors on the marker, but they don't. They look a little off. Because I remember it was like the red, what I thought was red, I put it down and it was like almost pink or fuchsia. Oh yeah, yeah. They're definitely Nintendo. Yeah, the Tombow is the Nintendo 64 cartridge of markers. Yeah, it's funny how you have to shade the turtles, color the turtles based on the bandana color. Because I always thought that the turtles were all different species, or not species, but different types of turtles. So I would always color them differently. But then it's also because of the bandanas. You know, the orange bandana looks a lot better next to a lighter green. The red looks a lot better next to a darker green. So, what, the turtles? No, no, they're legitimately different greens. I think it was just a design choice. I'm not sure what why they went that direction, but I guess I would have to pick Kevin Eastman's brain about it. But he's not the one that decided to color them. That was all Playmates. Playmates and forgot who did the cartoon. I think it was Dick Wolf Industries or something like that. No, and then that's when, the lore kept changing. And then the lore turned into that they were four different types of turtles. So one was like a snapping turtle, one was a sea turtle. Um, it all depends on the storyline that you read. But as far as I know, the big reason why they're all different shades is because of the bandana. When I did the first cover, I worked with a colorist, and he did the color scheme from the 80s cartoon, and Nickelodeon had a different color scheme for their cartoon. So it got kicked back, and they wanted us to recolor the cover. There's funny things that happen. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you just keep. I mean, that's the goal when you do art, is just to keep building up all your tools. Eventually, everything come together, and then when your YouTube channel blows up, then you can invest some of that money into better things. Here I am 3 years later, still waiting for mine to blow up, but it's all good. Oh, crap. Where did my brick go? Oh, there it is. Brick beige. 35 is a great price. Do you know what model it is? Is it a bamboo, Intuos? Normally, the the smaller ones are either bamboo, depending on the age, and then there's one called the Intuos. The Intuos kind of took the place of the bamboo, and then like the one I have in my drawer is called the Intuos Pro, which is just has a little bit more pressure sensitivity. But honestly, the pressure sensitivity in these devices are so much better than they were even 10 years ago. So even the base models are great for drawing. The base models now have what the pro features had back then. Intuos, $3. Oh, $3. Wow, I looked over here and I thought I saw $35. Drawing is life. Intuos pen small. Okay, that's still a great deal. You know, those normally run, I think, $80 at Michael's and Best Buy. I'm a big fan of Wacom, but ever since I started using the iPad, I barely touch it. I feel like a traitor. I just don't like Apple. Their products, they're just so... They're so, you know, closed to other software. Just not a big fan. They have great editing software though, I will say that. That's why I haven't gotten rid of my iMac. Yeah, Goodwill is great. We haven't been able to go to Goodwill here because New York State has a really strict stay-at-home order, and businesses just now started to open back up. So places like Goodwill, I'm not even sure if they're open yet. All right, so Donatello is more of a lettuce green kind of guy, so you'll see once I start coloring him. See how much more different it is from Mikey, but it just pops against the purple. Donnie is my favorite, but in this commission, I decided to put him in the background here. He's always the thinker. Ah, perfect. Just a little dash of lipstick orange there on the shell, because he is in the background, so I want him to kind of pop out a little bit so you can kind of show him off. And the brick beige again. The palest. Oh, I gotta change this song. Hold on. Crap. I'll definitely get strike for this one. At least I'm safe, you know, with Russian music. Somewhat. I missed the spot. Okay, now it's starting to get hot. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to turn the AC on. I was trying to avoid turning the AC on because it's so loud. Alright. Should be a little bit better now. Yeah, I've been on a Russian music kick past month or so. Thank you. I keep forgetting what angle you guys are seeing it in, because I keep looking at the top camera. Alright, now on to my least favorite turtle, Leonardo. I just do not like Leonardo. Maybe because I don't like authority. Classical rock, or just classical music? I like that too, just because you don't get copyright strikes for it either. Alright. So this would probably be the closest green to the blue. Because this is blue-green. And it kind of blends in too much with the mask. So I have to really go for a shock. You know what? Let's go emerald. That's a good Beethoven Bach. Nice. Yeah, I switch between like I always have a spot for classical trance, like classic trance. Then I'll flip to just normal pop music. Then I like stuff like Chromeo. And then I'll go back to like gangster rap, like 90s rap, Nas, and love Nas. Nas is like my favorite rapper. So I'll listen to Nas a lot. Wu-Tang. Then I'll flip back to trance techno. Daft Punk. Daft Punk's my favorite digital group. So really eclectic. I just do not like country. Country is the one music that I just can't handle. Love jazz. It's a little bit of everything. Never get tired of the music I love, you know? I'm still debating if I'm going to use the airbrush on this or not. See, I always know that Leo and Donnie can use the same shades of green compared to the other two, because their blue and purple are so close in the color wheel. So I can get away with using the same shades and stuff. I always just like to make Leo's a little bit more vibrant because blue pops a lot more. Oh yeah, I can only imagine. It's great. It's really dark and almost Phantom of the Opera-ish. Alright. Now let's do his shell. Go caramel. Make him pop a little bit more than the other two. Jazz is cool. I love jazz. Alright. What am I missing? I can't find my... I got my brick beige. Oh, barley. Here. This is my barley beige. Barley beige. Now, I alternate a lot between two colors. Alright, now gotta do Donnie's staff, which, because it's made out of wood, I always start with walnut. Light walnut. It's probably not gonna focus in. Maybe I'll focus in here. Almost, there you go. Light walnut. It's okay if it overlaps. I kind of like it. It gives it that really sketchy look. I learned to embrace mistakes. I used to get really stressed out when I made mistakes, but now I'm like, I'll leave it in. It gives it that one-of-a-kind look. Oh, I'm okay. Just been kind of gone. You know, still posting. This summer has been kind of hectic because I haven't been home. This is actually my parents' house. So I've been here most of the summer, and I got tired of not being productive being away from home, so I brought all my stuff over here. Because we don't have AC at my house. And this summer's been particularly hot. Where'd my cat go? Okay, I lost the cap to this marker. It's gotta be somewhere around here. Oh, I see it. It's by my door. Alright, so I'm gonna have to put that somewhere safe. You know what? Let me grab a different gray. I'm gonna try this gray, just for the belts, just to give it some life. And this is why I said it's okay to make mistakes, because you're gonna be overlapping so much anyways. You can always cover it up with a different color. Never really bothers me too much. But I think that also comes with repetition. You're just bound to make mistakes, so why freak out about it, you know? I always tell people who get commissioned, I'm like, I'm not a printer. I do things my way. When you tell me you want something drawn a certain way, I'm gonna draw it my way. Because you could always Google something, you know? But the reason why it's custom is because it's done in a certain way. I really don't like those commissions where people are like, oh, can you draw this for me in the exact same style? I'm like, I can't do that. That's called copying. Unless you're using color pencils. Yeah, even with color pencils, a nice trick that people don't know about color pencils is you could use the white color pencil to scrape off color. So you could make a mistake if you just go over it. Oh, I'm glad you still enjoy it. Yeah, I can actually push my bed and actually get the cap. It's here. I have to get the cap before the marker dries out. A dried out Copic is an expensive Copic. Alright, so I'm gonna let this dry. I bet it didn't bleed too much. I'm gonna let this dry because now I'm gonna work on the background. I can do that later. Backgrounds are boring. Alright. Alright. Let's go to Megatron now. I always like the bad guys more. I don't know why. Alright, so Megatron is a lot of grays. So I am going to get my grays. I'm going to try to clear some of this stuff out. Your cat's name is Megatron? Yeah, it came with the Pokemon Generation set. And I liked it so much that I hijacked it from my kids because they don't play the card game. They just collect the cards. So I gotta switch the battery on the recording camera. Everything goes wrong when you're trying to get stuff done. Alright. Battery is in. Fully charged. Ha, stolen. Yeah, stolen, borrowed, same thing. Alright, let's start Megatron here. I do have to pull up a picture of him though, because I like to have the colors correct. Colors throw me off. Well, as best as I can do, at least. One of these lamps stinks. It's like a really... like to put a base down. You see, it's a really light gray, so it's not gonna really pop. This is more so that the other markers will kind of meld together with the paper. But this paper is great. It took this marker really great. It's not the camera. I think it's this lamp. It's getting really hot. I'm gonna switch to a different light here. Sometimes I wish lighting didn't get so hot. Like LED lights aren't supposed to be hot. They're supposed to run cool, you know? Alright, be ready. It's gonna get really bright. Well, yeah, I have an LED light bulb in here, LED light bulb behind that one, and then this one's all LEDs, and they get hot. And I don't like that smoky smell because then it starts to freak me out. I'm like, what's on fire? I think it's just from years of working on really old computers. It's just now I'm paranoid about that smell because I don't know if you remember old computers where they would lay on their side. It would, by the time you smell the smoke, the component was already on fire or starting to burn. I have electronic PTSD, I guess. Those were the days. Yeah, my kids and my wife steal my hoodies all the time. As you can see, I'm just kind of layering down the texture of the grays on Megatron here, because I'm going to be going like really deep. I also want to accent the colors too, so that was T3. I don't want to jump to T or 7, so I'm going to do C5, and you're going to see how that layering helps. So now all these, because it's a very blocky creature, so giving it really blocky shades really brings it out. Oh, they're probably a lot thicker. I noticed that like male hoodies, like the ones they sell in the store, the men ones are way thicker. My wife, every time we order hoodies, she always goes for the male version because she knows it's a thicker material. Now, because he is so gray, a lot of this texture is going to come from the watercolor that I'm going to use. There we go. I like that more. I think I should have just jumped to 7 right off the bat. It just makes it a lot more contrasty. I will wear hoodies like in 100-degree weather. I'm always cold, so I'm with you. But when it comes to doing something like drawing or playing video games, I have to be comfortable. Just give me 1 second. I just got a notification. I had to pull the Facebook video. I don't know what happened to the music. You guys are still there. I get scared I just dropped the internet. Alright. I thought it was you, Kurt. I was just making sure for the notifications. Okay. For some reason, the music is not working, so we'll just keep chugging along. Are you? Am I lagging? No lag? Okay. I'm just making sure, because if it was lagging, I would just switch to my T-Mobile instead of the Wi-Fi, because maybe it's just too much going on in the house. Especially in my parents' house, because my brother uses the internet too. So if he's watching or streaming, it'll slow everything else down too. You were getting a little? Okay. Yeah, it completely dropped almost everything on my desktop, so I was worried that it dropped the phone too, but I switched it to just regular T-Mobile now from the phone. My signal's not that strong up here, but it's better than having to rely on the Wi-Fi here. And my dad's house is made out of brick, so there's a lot of interference here. So that could be playing a role too. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit more here. And then we get to do the fun stuff, which is the watercolor. It's better? Alright, that's good. I can't remember. Megatron's eyes are red, right? I normally get asked to draw Starscream, so it's... Hey, Cerebral Killer, how's it going? Thank you. Yeah, Megatron has red eyes. Alright, cool. Good thing I kept the red on the table. Alright. I don't want to overkill it with the red. And then I'm going to use the grayish violet for the face. That way it'll kind of distinguish itself from the rest of the gray on the body once it dries. And then I was going to add some accents, and with the purple, I think green accents really will be cool. So I'm going to put like little, it'll be my own little version of Megatron here. Yeah, it was definitely red. I was just looking for other colors to kind of add on to it, and I think green works really well. Just because the Decepticon symbol is purple. It's really, like, it fights with each other for priority. I mean, that's the whole thing about color. Color is all about what's fighting what with priority. Your eyes are naturally driven to the most vibrant color, and when there's two really vibrant colors, it's like, sometimes we'll say people say it's too busy, but I don't know. I kind of like it when there's a battle with your eyes for the focal point. Alright, I'm just gonna shut the music down. I think that's what's causing the slowdown on the internet. Alright, so now I'm going to give it some more purple accents. And then we get to do the airbrushing. Or not airbrushing, watercolor. Can't do the airbrush because the fumes get everywhere. Hey, Hugh! Oh, thank you, Mew Mew. This one's actually, it was commissioned, but then they backed out, and I already had it almost 70% drawn out. So I have some other people who are interested in Transformers, so I run it by them first, and if not, then I just throw it into my convention bin and take it with me to conventions. Hopefully somebody likes it, you know? Well, likes it enough to want to purchase it. Alright, you guys ready for the watercolor? I have to go grab some water. Alright, I'm gonna go grab the watercolor now and the water. Try to move anything that can blow up from water exposure. A little bit of water here. That's probably all I need. I'm going to try to zoom out a little bit just so you can see the actual watercolor process. Alright. I'm going to stand up for this just because the camera is kind of in my way. Oh, I need my toothbrush. Alright, so someone's gonna probably look in my office and see like this bloody toothbrush, but it's actually just red. So we're gonna just match up these same colors. So this is kind of like a lime green, and then this is kind of like a blue violet. So that's what we're gonna try to match up here. I don't want to really take my water pen out. Oh, you'll see why I need the toothbrush. Stay tuned for that one. It's one of my favorite things to do for texture. But just dab a little bit of water, just a little bit, and then we're going to do blue violet first and grab as much of that purple as possible, which is 176 on the palette, and then a little bit of white. And there is your violet. I have to clean up the swatches a little bit because they're super dirty. All right, so this is why I like the toothbrush. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab the toothbrush, just dab it in a little bit of water, and you're gonna take that same color that you just put in there. And you're gonna take your index finger, and it creates this nice texture. Forgot to record. Here, I gotta record. There we go. So, and it's okay if it gets on the drawing. Unless you don't want it on the drawing, then you can kind of cut a stencil out and lay it over so it doesn't get on there. And if you want a little bit more vibrant of a purple, you could dilute it a little bit. Too much water and then you get a lighter tone, less water, and it's darker. So I want to grab a little bit more of that purple and a lot more of that white. This works better with like Colgate toothbrushes. This is a cheap dollar store one. Not trying to make you go out and buy expensive ones, but the Colgate toothbrushes have that floss, the floss guard or the gum guard, and what that does is that adds an extra texture on there that you can throw in there. So now we're gonna switch to purple. So then you just clean off the toothbrush, and you just dab again in the water. It's okay if you get a little bit of that purple in there. You grab a little bit of the lime green with a little bit of white, because you want it to really pop. And you just mix them together. It's not as limey as I'd like. So I'm going to scratch away some of that white. Maybe mix it with a different green. There you go. That's a little bit better. And then just go around the corners. And even on the Optimus Prime logo. If you have an airbrush, you can do it too with a tongue depressor or a popsicle stick. You put the popsicle stick right in front of the airbrush, and it'll do the same effect. But I like the watercolor a little bit better. It just melds really good with the alcohol texture, or the alcohol markers, rather. But there you go. That's the paint watercolor. I'll just make sure I didn't get it on camera. Alright, so now I'm going to record the last part of the video for the Megatron, which is normally where I sign it. I want to pick this up here. Sometimes I leave a mess and then it's a pain to clean up later. That's why a lot of these swatches aren't clean. Yeah, I'd love to see you look on a live stream if you want to give it a shot. I want to see. You could, and don't let the set scare you away. You can do this with even like dollar store watercolor. The don't know how well it'll last. You know, especially if you're selling your artwork. But if you just want to try this just for fun, you can do it with any type of watercolor. So you don't have to have this really expensive watercolor set. You could always just do it with regular Dollar Tree stuff. Alright. So now I am going to record the final part of that video. Take my Pentel pocket brush. Actually, you know what? Before I finish this video of the Megatron, I'm actually going to do a couple highlights. Let's record that. Alright. I feel like the highlights would really make it pop a little bit more. And it will kind of take care of any of the paint splatter that you went over on the drawing. Yeah, just that light hitting it just gives it an extra layer, extra little bump. Overly excessive and loud motorcycle just passed by. It's the one bad thing about recording from the second floor, whereas at my house when I recorded, I would record in the basement. So the most loudness you would get is just the people stomping above me. But if I recorded at night, everybody's asleep, so it was nice and quiet. But the echo in my office at home is just redonkulous. Here, I feel like you can hear me a lot better. I can't tell if there's a lot of Megatron fans. Like, I feel like Megatron has kind of turned into. I always feel like people, especially with Transformers, people like the B characters more, like Starscream and Barricade. I really don't know if there's a lot of Megatron fans. All right, so now for the final part where I sign it. Usually zoom in on it. Oh, that one came out bad, but oh well. Kind of gives it a graffiti look. 3, 2, 1, and done. Alright. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Mew Mew, Kirk, Hugh M showed up. I'm not sure if he's still in here, but thanks for coming on. Cerebral Killer. Miss K came on for a little bit, but and Canicio Kubeka? Keep it up. Alright. Think they might keep it up, but appreciate it. Alright. I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank you so much for everybody who came on. This is kind of impromptu, but we had fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, don't forget to keep it over 9,000. Take care, guys.